Welcome to the Intuitive Therapist Podcast with Janis R. Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as the angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis R. Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist here on the Intuitive Therapist Podcast. Welcome to another week. Well, today we're diving into a topic that can be equal parts liberating and maddening at the same time. And we're talking about divine timing. So, if you haven't noticed, the universe does not have watch. But it sure knows how to set things in motion when the time is right, doesn't it? Yet, if you're anything like me, the waiting game can feel like an emotional roller coaster, and it can drive you mad if you let it. I know it has driven me mad at times. So today, we're going to talk about why divine timing is so hard to trust at times, how our human need for certainty complicates things, and most importantly, how to keep your inner peace intact while waiting for your desires to unfold. That's like, to me, the biggest challenge, at least that I have faced. So I'm going to be sharing some practical strategies that you can use to navigate this beautiful, frustrating, and magical process with grace. So let's dive in. Now, the concept of divine timing can feel elusive, and as humans, we're hardwired to want to control and make things predictable, right? So it's part of our survival mechanism, and our brains crave certainty because uncertainty can feel like a threat. So when we're waiting for divine guidance, we don't have a clear timeline. And that triggers a lot of emotional discomfort and a lot of our limiting beliefs around scarcity and fear. So you might, during these times, find yourself asking, well, why hasn't it happened yet? And am I doing something wrong here? Or what if it never happens? You know, this inner dialogue, it's actually pretty normal. The tension between your human desire for control and your soul's need to surrender is part of the growth process. In fact, this is one of the most significant lessons that each of us has to learn in this human plane: the need to surrender, trust, and let go, allowing for life to unfold in front of us while knowing and expecting miracles to occur, and then following our guidance. You see, divine timing, it's not about punishment or withholding from the universe. It's about alignment. Okay, this is huge, a huge piece of why people don't understand divine timing. And the key to making it work, it's about alignment, ensuring that the right opportunities, people, and experiences come to you when you're truly ready to receive them. Now, most people say, "Oh, I'm ready now. I've grown, or I've been through enough. I'm ready now for all my dreams." And what I have found is that when your mind believes it's ready is not when you're ready. It's it's how you embody your readiness. It's when your body knows it's ready, not your mind. And every time my mind has said I'm ready, that's not when the timing of things occurred. It was actually when I was seated in my certainty in the body, knowing that I had done the work, had eliminated what I needed to eliminate, had grown and made different choices, better choices. That's when alignment happened. So when I first began to learn about divine timing, one of the things that made the most sense to me about it was that it's, like I said, it's all about alignment. And until you understand what alignment actually is, you're going to remain eternally frustrated with expecting something to happen when you want it to happen, and then it doesn't. So I want to talk about alignment, what that means. Now, alignment is both when you have grown enough and learned your lessons and raised your frequency to align with that thing that you want or what is meant for you. It's also when the universe feels that frequency lock in place in certainty, like a puzzle piece, and you close the gap between the desire and realization. And when your frequency locks in with the frequency of what you desire, meaning you know it already is in your body, you know it's already happened, even when it hasn't happened yet, then it's inevitable that what you want will come to you. It's law. When you have aligned with the frequency of what you want, and you are certain that what you want is here already, and you feel it and you know it, it's like you're just waiting for your Amazon package to arrive. You put the order in, you go on with your day because you know you're going to get it. It's that. So it's inevitable that that's going to happen. It's spiritual law. And yet most people, including me, become frustrated by having to wait days, months, even decades for your desires to come to fruition. And what they're unaware of is that the missing piece is the person's energetic alignment. And you can intellectually believe that you've grown enough, like I talked about before, that you've raised your vibration, that you've done all the things to receive the things that you want. But that might not be true. It actually is not true if the thing that you want hasn't immediately come. In other words, where you're not a magical manifester. Okay? The universe knows it all. And while you may be close to aligning with those things that you want and need, none of that will ever happen unless you are truly in alignment with the frequency of your desire. When you lock it in with certainty and a knowingness, yep, already done, right? It's a co-creation between you and the universe, and divine timing is always about this. It's a yin yang, it's a balancing. So when we're waiting for divine timing, it does take an emotional toll. It stirs up a lot of heavy emotions, frustration, anger, impatience, and sometimes even hopelessness. And these emotions, they're valid, but they're also signals and signposts that can guide you towards deeper self-awareness. And here's the thing. When we're stuck in frustration, we're actually resisting the flow of the universe. And it makes complete sense. We're frustrated, so we're not allowing, so we're pushing away what we want to come to us because we're frustrated and angry. And anger pushes away the very thing we want. So we're not in flow. And that resistance creates more stress and keeps us energetically disconnected from our desires. So instead of waiting with resentment, you can actually learn to wait with curiosity and trust. And I'm going to go so far as to say excitement. So I want to just share that since November, I've been in a winter period. And between that time and now, I experienced a dark night of the soul. Another one, yet again, right? And we always go through this, we humans. And it brought me to a place where I was questioning everything. And the reason why that was happening is because I was up leveling so much. I was shedding my skin and shedding thoughts and beliefs and relationships and behaviors and patterns, like huge amounts of work, huge. And so what I also knew in that was that something amazingly huge is also coming. It's equally coming. The amount that I let go to me is commensurate with the amount that I get back. So I knew that all of this tough shit that I was going through, all the like dark night of the soul and the questioning and the heaviness and the tears and the frustration and the anger and the uncertainty, all of that was aligning me once I was releasing that. I didn't know what it was, and then I was able to release it. It's aligning me with something huge, and I know it is. I have a certainty. I'm locked in on that. I don't know what it is, but it's coming. So instead of waiting with resentment, I'm able to go, oh my God, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see what's coming. I know what work I've done. I know. And oh my gosh, it's going to be better than I could imagine. So I believe that and I know that. But how do you do that? How do you do that when you don't always understand what you're going through spiritually? How do you do that when life is so hard all the way around? How do you cultivate faith and trust and certainty with curiosity when you feel like life is just so hard? How do we shift from frustration and fear to faith? How do we genuinely stay out of fear and live from a place of trust? These are huge questions, and most of us struggle to find the answers. So it's all about how good you are at regulating. Now, I want you to hear this: regulating your thoughts, your beliefs, and your nervous system. This is huge, y'all. So listen closely. That brings us to the tools and strategies that are going to help you stay grounded and peaceful, dealing with your thoughts, beliefs, and nervous system. Now, 3 powerful strategies I want to talk to you today about. And the first is a huge one. And once I learned about what this was, and I learned strategies and techniques about how to handle it in my own life, changed the game. Because we're wired to be in survival mode and hunting mode and fight and flight mode. Like, we're wired for that, to assess danger and be prepared. But 99% of the time, we're not in that kind of danger. But our bodies can be used to being in that way because either it's comfortable, emotionally, we're used to it, and not being in chaos feels very uncomfortable for a lot of people. So, when we talk about regulating your nervous system, especially when uncertainty strikes, your nervous system often goes into overdrive. And your nervous system is wired to keep you safe and to survive, like I was talking about. So, when your nervous system is activated, your body either goes into fight, flight, or freeze. And actions that are like subconscious and that are rooted in a sense of danger. But like I said, most of us, we're not in inherent danger 99% of the time, even when our bodies feel like we are. So, for example, if you're somebody who has really just kind of tends to focus on lack and really feels like you're living a life of poverty, and you look at your bank account and you realize you only have a few dollars and there's no money coming in and money's going out, and you're just going, oh my God, like, I'm going to run out of money. Uh, how am I going to survive? How am I going to pay all my bills? And you go into fear and lack. Your body is going to experience that and is going to go into fight or flight. So your cortisol is going to rise, your heart rate's going to rise. You're going to feel like you are in inherent danger. So learning how to regulate your nervous system is massively effective when you want to calm yourself down and raise your vibration. Remember, the key is to raise your vibration. So if the goal is when you have fear about your ability to survive, what you really are looking to feel is safe and secure. And so how do you cultivate that sense of safety and security? Well, you got to ground yourself, your energy, and you've got to soothe your body so your nervous system calms down. Now, this could be as simple as deep belly breathing, and you could do the 4-4-6 model. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. You could do the 4-7-8. You could do it any number of ways, but as long as you do it slowly, as long as you breathe in deeply into your belly, pushing your belly out, and slowly counting in, hold, out. Now, another method is called progressive muscle relaxation. And some people do this where you tense and then you release each muscle group from head to toe, right? So really the goal is we're taking our focus off of anything that we're stressed about and we're focusing on breath and body. We're connecting into body. The next is mindful movement. And all this is, y'all, is that when you're feeling freaked out, get up and move. Go walk, go ride a bike, go stretch, do yoga, jump in place, punch a pillow. Also hugging yourself and rubbing your arms while you breathe is another really, really good tactic to calm yourself down. So those are some nervous system regulating techniques. Now, the second is consciously managing your thoughts and beliefs. This is a huge one too. Now, your mind can be your greatest ally or your biggest saboteur. So practicing catching your thoughts and reframing the negative thoughts, huge, huge, huge. If you want to make any progress in this life, you got to be aware of how you think. You got to be consciously aware of what you think and believe at any moment in time because it determines your frequency, your vibration. So practice catching these things. For example, you want to replace is never going to happen with things are unfolding in perfect timing, even if I can't see it yet. I believe, I trust. Use an affirmation that anchors you into trust, like, I'm exactly where I need to be. I know things will be clear when the time is right. And everything is always working out for me. I trust in the universe to give me what I need exactly when I need it. Okay? So the more you can over focus on the creating certainty in your thoughts and beliefs, right? In whatever way allows you to get your energy behind it, versus focusing on something negative, you're ahead of the game. Now, I am a huge fan, and it's not because I'm female, I'm a huge fan of journaling. When I work with men, I tell them to do this too. Journaling can help you write down your fears and frustrations. And then basically, remember, I've talked about this, the fear and the frustration, anything negative, anything less than feeling happy is not a true belief. Anything above feeling good and happy, true. Okay? And so those thoughts are automatically going to be thoughts of projection, right? And so what you want to be able to do is identify the thoughts that you're having and then reframe them and choose different ones. Now, the third is channeling anger and frustration productively, right? Because like I said before, it can be terribly frustrating when you're waiting for something to happen and your mind's like, oh, I'm ready. I've done the work, blah, blah, blah. Not happening, right? Now for me, I'm saying to myself, I know the work I've done and I feel the momentum of what's coming in and I don't know when or what. And that's equally frustrating to me and exciting. So what do I do with that uh, glob of emotions, right? So what I highly suggest, without a doubt, is listening to your body. Get the energy out physically. Physical outlets like punch your pillow, go for a run, or just dance, jump, do something to move the energy out. Have creative outlets, paint or write or sing your heart out. Go for a drive, right? Talk it out. Sometimes that truly helps when you could talk it out with somebody who can actually hold effective space for you, right? You share your feelings to a trusted friend or coach who can hold space for you and say, hey, by the way, remember about divine timing? All about alignment. And if you're living in alignment, then you're not questioning the universe at all. That's the thing. It's like when you live in alignment, it's that's enough because you know you're doing whatever it is your soul is guiding you to do. And then the knowingness, the expectation is that the universe is going to meet you at that point. Always does. So, the universe always has perfect timing, and trusting in divine timing is not about passivity. It really is not. It's about actively choosing peace, self regulation, and aligned action while you wait. For example, I on purpose say, oh my God, I am so excited about what's coming. I know everything is always working out for me. I cannot wait to see what miracles happen today. And I do that on purpose because it makes it easier. And I believe those things that I say. I have no idea when or what, but all I know is that God has a plan for me and for you and everybody. And if we err on the side of being genuinely curious about what's to come, we are in a far better place than if all we did was just get pissed because things didn't happen. So the more you nurture your inner world, your peace and calm, the more open you're going to be to receiving the blessings that are on their way to you. And I want to thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope it was helpful. I really have been excited of the channeled messages that have come through, because I can see it in in how many people are listening. The listeners are growing, and I love that. And if you found this episode helpful, share it with somebody, right, who needs a little extra reassurance about why maybe things have stalled. And as always, look, please subscribe and hop on iTunes, and please rate and write a review of the podcast. Maybe what's actually helped you. How have you felt about listening to the podcast? What have been your biggest takeaways? And don't forget, really, remember the universe is always working in your favor. Even if you don't see that, even if you don't understand how, it is. The universe is always working out for you in your favor. So I wish you a blessed day, a wonderful week, and as always, live intuitively and in alignment.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend, and be sure to give us some stars and a favorable review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.